thoughts on all these like OnlyFans women that are like converting and saying they found God? They're turning to the church. Like, I'm sure a lot of them might be genuine about it, but you know.
People ask me often, do you and your wife debate? Do me and Rachel debate? We don't really very much. We debated on this issue.
She's more anti-feminist than you are.
Unless it's about
Rachel is she's twice as brutal. Yeah. She's more based than me. It's just the truth, right? Yeah, she is. She's awesome.
Hardcore against feminism.
And the thing is we debated back and forth on this issue, like what is it? And we both kind of settled on it's about control. More than anything, it's about control. Let me explain what I mean by this.
Yeah, please.
When it's the case that you're a 21-year-old girl in this society, and you go on Instagram and you post a little nudie of yourself or a bra pic or something like that, instant validation, man. 20,000 likes, girl, you're so beautiful, you're so gorgeous, you're the best, you're the this, you're the that. But
they're all trying to get in their pants. They don't actually care about her, though.
It's like with podcasting or other events of fame, it's scalable. So if you're a man who's making $20 million a year and you go down to $1 million a year, you think you're a failure. You think you're a failure. You're failing, right? Even though you're wildly successful, right? But you think you're failing. And the same thing, your live chat starts to decrease, things like this. Even though you had 50,000 and now it's 15,000, which is still massive, you feel like you're a failure. Women have the same exact thing when it comes to validation from men. Garner attention. Yeah. So they go, oh man, 20,000 went to 10,000. I'm a failure. I'm failing. I don't have the instant validation button anymore. And now we fast forward to when they can go to church and have control for what? Instant validation. Instant validation. And so what happens when Nala Ray converts and posts that to Instagram? What happens to the validation?
It's a new form.
Oh my God, it's 100-fold what she was getting, right?
Right.
That's what I think it's about, is control, and not necessarily just the control over the men in the church, but control over that idea of validation.
The control over the narrative that people in society portray her. There's some weirdness to that too, because it's like, let's just say it wasn't about the validation of the previous people, but what if she was trying to maybe lure in some of the, behind the scenes gooner Christians, be like, oh shit, now we can pay attention to her. And that might be conspiratorial to even fucking put that out there, but it's something that crossed my mind.
Control over the idea that, wait, I can't get this dopamine, I can't get the validation like I used to anymore, but this conversion, man, like look at Nala's progression. Anytime she's people forget about her, somehow she pops right the back up, right? Talking about how whatever podcast abused her, right? And Smokey Man Bad. Suddenly, it's a million. Oh, girl, I can't believe it. Well, it's a validation machine.
Brittany Renner did it with Islam. I've seen plenty of girls do it with Christianity, like these religions that want to say.
To Brittany Renner, man. The last time I saw her, she was in like some hit shot. But next time she looks like Jackie Brown.
and I want to get clear because, obviously, someone who's like an Orthodox Christian and actually like practices and understands there's a real barrier to entry. Like, I was like, well, I want to get Andrew's take on this because I've seen a lot of girls either do it with Christianity, like I found Jesus, or even some girls like
if
I found
Islam. If it was
Islam.
the case, really, that they were converting because they had made a mess of their life and they were sorry about it, you'd never hear from them again.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, you would never hear from them again. What they would do, or you would hear one last thing. You would just hear, I'm really sorry. And in humility and repentance, right, I'm going to go take some time with the church and my church to get my together. And maybe they come back in 5 years, great. And then you get the welcome, right? Then you get the wow, but you don't go, I went and got baptized at heresychurch.com, right? And now I'm going to tell you how to be the right kind of Christian. You, right? That's what I told her. I'm not going to take advice from a woman who's had 50 dicks in her mouth. You're out of your mind. And what man would?
And what kind of was she? Was it non-denominational or
non-denominational? And she started her own ministry immediately, which was exactly what I said would happen. Stephen Crowder did a whole expose.
That's such a fucking retarded ass grift. Basically, a porn star starting their own ministry, being also non-denominational. That's like fucking like theological fence sitting. What the fuck is that? That makes no goddamn sense. No offense to anybody who was offended by that use of the word, but like honestly, the fuck is that even supposed to mean? That bitch is crazy.
Jose on it. She started.
She could be minister.
No, but she started an online ministry.
It sounds profitable.
Where she called herself. She calls herself on the online.
That's why I asked Andrew on this
Have
stuff.
you seen the website?
No, I.
Oh yeah, she called herself.
She's got about 50 courses on there to go. How to like stop doing. How to be a good steward of your wealth for God. And all these sorts of things. Just course.
She's cashing in on another
And
way.
it's all. But here's the thing. All of that promotion that she did led to the selling of those ministry courses with her and her husband, and she calls herself a minister. She calls herself the ministry of. And so the thing is like the whole thing. By the way, I called this before anybody.
Or you
right?
Okay.
Called this that she was a minister before, and I said, "You're going to do a ministry. I can see it." You know, no, I'm not a minister. Yes, she was. She was setting the whole thing up. And so the thing that's really funny about it is like I gave her a lot of grace, like I do everybody. You know what I mean? Maybe she's authentic. And I told people back off until we see what she does. I was on a panel with you where I said it. I said, look, you know, I'm not going to say anything about this yet. I see Pearl's going hard. A lot of people are going hard. I'm going to welcome her into the fold until she shows me reason not to. And she instantly showed me reason not to. But for her, the validation, like with many of these women, the validation is they go to Twitter, Christian Twitter. I'm a Christian now. Girl. And then the simps. There's as many simps as you could ever imagine. The low tier Christos simps, right? Mm-hmm. The virtue signal simps. You're beautiful. You're regenerated in Jesus.
And they're all
by the way,
like,
you want to fuck?
They're all
regenerated
like,
in Jesus. You know,
it's they got an
crazy.
Exactly.
So this is something.
Yeah, now it just means that she can't morally charge for it. That's all it is. That's all it is. She's just still gonna do the same hoey bullshit. Now she just can't charge for it.
I've heard you talk about this before.
Because I've seen so many of them do it. The chick, real before you go, the girl that took the $50 million from Shannon Sharp, she gets off OnlyFans, saying I'm retiring, and the next day she puts a story of her reading the Bible. And I'm like, bro, here we go. Sam Frank, same thing. Brittany Renner, Islam. This girl Nala Ray, Christianity. I'm like, what is this like? Some kind of?
But I'll tell you the big test, and this is what I wish we could do collectively. I wish that I could get a message out to like every Christian who even self-identifies as a Christian to just say, look, for 16 weeks, you don't respond to any of these women's social media posts at all. I think almost all of them would be back doing OnlyFans.
Probably.
It's happened a few times to the ones that you've debated.
No, it's that same dopamine shit, you know? They would have gotten bored and be like, fuck, did I make the right decision? And the thing is if you come back and go back to your same bullshit, they're going to be like, wow, you're a fucking liar to yourself and everyone around you. You lose so much credibility. But, you know, as a corn star like she is, it wouldn't really matter because they'd still pay for her shit just to watch her get pounded by fuck machines and random dudes, so... It wouldn't really change anything with her reputation because her reputation is already ass.
Yeah,
but they've tried to start to do the Christian thing, and then a few months later it doesn't work out. They're getting 100 views on their reels that they're
posting about
Bible studies, and then next minute they're like they're on the OnlyFans, but they're still a Christian, but they're saying I'm an empowered.
Yeah, I think where the difference is like as men. We get our validation from, like you actually talked about this in a marriage. There was status associated with
massive status for men.
So I have a wife who is loyal to me, and then I have kids, and I own a home, and I've worked really hard, and that's where we get our validation. Generally, from the compliance we get from our family and our wife. Women get their validation from the attention that they get from other people.
Well, we also get it. We don't just get it from that. We get it in social ways that you don't really recognize. For instance, bosses are more likely to hire you if you're married.
Oh, yeah.
And to have children. And the reason
I
for
can tell you that from
skin in the game.
Guys that move up a lot of the times,
they're married. And the reason for that is you're a very safe bet. You're going to be dependent on the income to take care of your family, so you're probably going to work hard so that you can stay there, right? You can't transition easily out without some serious planning because you have a wife and kids to take care of. So what that creates is because that creates a non-impartial hiring practice, the employer thinks this is a safer bet. Employers move that way, that's a form of social status. That over time becomes a form of social status. And it's not just that, it assists with trust, right? People are way more likely to trust people who have families than they are bachelors. Why? Because they know that you have responsibilities outside of yourself, so it's less likely that you're going to be up to doing nefarious things. There's tons of small social statuses you don't even recognize.
it tames serial killers.
Yeah.
BTK had a family and stopped killing.
He stopped killing. Yeah.
Like
No, BTK.
Dennis Rader.
Yeah, it's like they're not going to hire some fucking 23-year-old kid or 18-year-old kid with infinite amounts of shit that he, imposes on himself that he needs to prove to the world. Yeah, I mean, hiring a dude that has a family and, like, a mortgage to pay, they're like, oh, well, he's not going to be fucking his job up. He's going to sit here and apply himself to make sure that he keeps food on the table and he keeps his bills paid. 100%. 100%.
In Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah, that was the bind.
He went crazy in the 70s, and then once his daughter went to college and left the house,
Yeah.
that's actually how they caught him.
And then he started up.
And they started trying to again, and that's how they caught him because I think she went did an STD test or something.
And he was also old and out of practice, right?
Yeah.
But the big thing is, yes, the social status aspect. There's 1,000 tiny ways that it adds to the social status of men that they don't even think about, and you can take one of those married men who's lower middle class and match him up against a bachelor millionaire, and in social status, from how other men view them, it's often very similar.
Yeah. Depending on what they do.
Yeah. But I mean, you're not getting looked down as an electrician, like it's
No.
and a
By other
family
men,
man.
definitely not. Maybe by dumb bimbos that don't understand.
Yeah,
But
effort
you're married.
versus
What do you
actual
care about
holding
the
is
info? That's the point.
essentially
So
the same.
I do think that there is social status which is associated with it, just in a different way.
Sure.
So
But anyway, the thing you mentioned before, and Alex
Was
Ramosi
religion.
made a great video about this, was the difference between fame and influence. So, and I'll use this example. Alex Ramosi and Brittany Renner are about as famous as one another. Alex Ramosi can fill up a room with 10,000 people. Brittany Renner looks like an idiot talking about having 3 people at the same time. She's famous, and they confuse one to the other. We had a discussion a while ago about female, Instagram models, whatever, trying to start their own podcast and how it would repeatedly fail over and over again because they had fame, but they did not have influence.
Yeah.
Well, another one too is that, like, look, if the only thing you're bringing to the table is your tits and your ass, I mean, realistically, having a podcast isn't really going to make too much sense because they don't want to hear you talk; they want to watch you jiggle your tits. So that's probably why they fail. Because I mean, not to like put all women down, but a lot of these hoey ass Instagram models and shit, they have no substance in their character. They're just tits and ass, and that's unfortunate for them. But not my problem.
Yeah. And so that's one of the things that I think kind of gets lost, and it's frustrating, right? As a content
We saw
creator
that in an
myself.
election in 2024.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Kamala Harris, A-list celebrities, LeBron James, Taylor Swift,
Yes.
A-list celebrities that acted. But you're right, they don't have influence.
But
Trump
Myron
does
had
all
some
social media.
influence.
Hey, I tried, man. I'll sound everybody because
Yeah, nobody actually gives a fuck what celebrity, basketball player, whatever, endorses a fucking president. It's like, okay, cool. So some dude that probably got paid says something positive about the person that might or might not be president. Cool. What's their fucking policy? How much do they give a fuck about the country? Those are the things that really move things. But yeah, I don't give a fuck if LeBron James endorsed anything. It's like, okay, cool. A dude that throws the ball around, it's out of touch. Great. Don't care. Don't give a fuck.
because we have a decent amount of because I did my a little analytic of my audience. It's white, Hispanic, blacks are the top 3. Almost 50% of my audience is Hispanic actually.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, you guys got to get out there and vote. And I was telling everyone hard in 2024. We got to get out there and vote for Trump. We got to get out there and vote for Trump. I'm going out there. We got to get out there and vote for Trump because I knew if Kamala got in, we already endured a whole bunch of censorship. It was only going to get worse. With her.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, we got to get out there and vote. And then obviously we're in the middle of 2 wars. The economy sucked. All this stuff. Immigration was going nuts.
Yeah. That was a crazy ass fucking cycle. And we're, as much as people might want to disagree, we are in a better place because of the Orange Man. People can cry. But they can cry in their cock-shaped pillow, I don't care.